The use of drugs, as well as drug dealing, are an outlaw practice frequently affirmed in hip-hop. Befitting the outlaw character of the hardcore rapper, ingesting huge amounts of legal and illegal substances amounts to a ghetto pass and a union card. Getting high is at once pleasurable and political. It heightens the joys to be found in thug life while blowing smoke rings around the constraints of the state. In addition to metaphors of drug addiction, there is a plethora of references to drug use within hip-hop, particularly used by the artists when it comes to drinking liquor. For example, 40 ounces of beer, Moet, Cristal, Alizé, and whatever the newest popular drink might be, and smoking marijuana. The alcoholics define themselves in their name by addiction. However, alcohol references generally describe recreation or set the mood of a piece. In contrast, marijuana, weed, ism, Buddha, chronic, cess, joints, blunts, L's, J's, and the numerous other names for it and the sort of cigarettes used to smoke it, has a wider range of contextual meanings. Lyrics about the act of smoking abound, even inspiring whole songs such as Mad Ism by Channel Live or How High by Redman and Method Man. In part, this attention reflects the notion that achieving a physical high allows one to attain a higher state of consciousness or spirituality, and also allows one to transcend the details of the mundane world that might otherwise burden the creative process. Channel Live rhymed, "Wake up in the morning, got the yearnin' for herb, which loosened up the nouns, metaphors, and verbs, and adjectives. It ain't magic, kid, but I'm kickin', multi-flowered bags of cess for the pickin'." The idea that drugs free up the creative process has been part of American artistic culture for a number of generations. Because marijuana does not cause a physiological addiction, although it can create a psychological one, it is seen as a relatively innocuous means of achieving that transcendent state. It is a drug that maintains a romantic air. Rick James's Mary Jane, which sounds like a love song for those ignorant of drug parlance, had his hip-hop soul match from balladeer D'Angelo, who sang to marijuana with the words of a lover, "Brown sugar baby, I gets high off your love, don't know how to behave." Within hip-hop culture, smoking weed is often seen as a bonding activity. In How High, Method Man says as a sign of friendship, "If Red rolls the blunt, I'm the second one to hit it." Another marijuana reference that appears in hip-hop is to the community created out of its use. KRS-One's humorous song, "I'm Dreamin'," is a narrative fantasy about the personification of a blunt, marijuana rolled up in cigar paper, the hip-hop drug of choice. KRS-One writes an extended metonymic metaphor in which he is the blunt, called "I Can't Wake Up." In it he raps, "I'm dreamin' about being a blunt, I'm running around and I just can't wake up." As the process of rolling the blunt, slicing open the cigar, dumping out the tobacco, is described, the narrator, KRS-One, portrays himself as a comedic victim of violence. "I'm thinking this is major. I got a bunch of people chasing me with a razor." The song becomes a long explanation of how, as a blunt, he has passed around a large group of rappers and DJs. He tailors his rhythmic personifications of them to their individual personalities and idiosyncrasies. It is comedic, and yet it becomes a description of a sort of secular consubstantiation, where his sacrificial existence as a blunt nourishes the hip-hop community. The other compelling aspect of mild drug use, as it is discussed in hip-hop music, is the cocky spurning of legality in the pursuit of relaxation and recreation. This sort of use takes place in the context of some other activities. For Snoop in Gin and Juice, it is partying with his homie and some women they plan to have sex with. He rhymes the following about his first few hits. "Later on that day, my homie Dr. Dre came through with a gang of Tanqueray and a fat-ass J of some bubonic chronic that made me choke. This ain't no joke. I had to back up off it and sit my ass down. Tanqueray and chronic, yeah, I'm f***ed up now."